So today we're going to talk about reducing your risk for cancer through nutrition. And I'm Yolanda Jackson, the owner of Nourish You Nutrition and also a registered dietitian. So today we're going to talk about breast cancer awareness. We're going to talk about connections between breast cancer and your lifestyle choices and what foods are protective to kind of help you with reducing your risk of getting cancer. So let's get into it. So October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and the whole purpose is to bring awareness. So this is the perfect time for you to learn how to reduce your risk factors by eating right and engaging in more physical activity. There's no guarantee that you will be able to be prevented from getting breast cancer, but a healthy lifestyle can certainly help you reduce your risk of getting breast cancer. And should you develop it, if you're eating a healthy diet, then this is going to help your odds of beating the breast cancer and getting to a full recovery. So there are, there's not a lot you can do about like some of your risk factors, whether you have like a family history or genetic mutations, but there are some people that are more vulnerable to getting breast cancer. So this whole month is about bringing awareness to breast cancer. So Susan G. Komen is an organization that is all things breast cancer awareness. And so this is one way that you can get involved. With breast cancer awareness, not only are we going to be more aware about breast cancer, who has a higher risk of getting it, but it's also time for you to get involved. You can get involved by donating to organizations such as Susan G. Komen. And I'm not advocating anyone, but there's lots of different organizations that you can help donate. And these donations go to either help individuals or it goes to help with research. And research is how we learn more about the breast cancer's prevalence, how it works, and what we can do to minimize our risk factors. You can also become a partner with different organizations. You can become an advocate, or you can fundraise. So again, not advocating, but if there is an organization that you can fundraise for to help with any of these activities, you fundraise, and then usually they have like a 5K or they have some type of celebration or activity where you can share your experiences with breast cancer and the money that you raise to go help other people. So with breast cancer awareness, it's good to know, like, what are the odds? What do the statistics say? So 1 in 8 women in the United States will get breast cancer during her lifetime. But the good news is that there's early detection. So with breast cancer awareness, it's always a good idea to do your self breast examination. So you can find different websites that will help you learn more about that, or you can visit the website that is on the screen. Susan G. Komen also has good resources for how to do a self breast exam, but a self breast exam will help you to figure out what's normal with your breast. And then if there's any changes, you can go get a mammogram. And so a mammogram is a test that doctors use, and this will detect cancer early before it spreads to other parts of your body. So this picture shows a woman getting a mammogram, and it's just like any other screening that you do to assess to see if there's anything that is abnormal. And usually with most women, unless you have a family history of breast cancer, you'll go get your first mammogram at 40. And this is just a way for you to see what's going on with your breast and to make sure that if they do see something that's like cancer, that we can do something about it a lot earlier, whether that's through nutrition or treatment plan that your doctors come up with. So if you are 40 and you're a woman, or you are a male and you also have breasts, if you haven't gotten your first mammogram, it's a good idea to go ahead and get screened to make sure that we catch whatever early. So there's also lifestyle factors. And these are the things that I love because these are the things that you can do to make an impact. This is what you can do for yourself to reduce your risk factors for getting cancer. So one is nutrition. And of course, as a dietitian, I always love talking about nutrition. But then there's also physical activity. So with physical activity, you should aim to be physically active at least 30 minutes per day. Now, I have weights on here, I have jump rope, but if you can't do those things, perfectly fine. Be physically active your way for at least 30 minutes per day. You didn't think I forgot about nutrition. So now we're going to talk about some of the foods that can be protective against cancer. So the foods on this list are protective against cancer, and those include cruciferous vegetables, fruits, whole grains, and legumes. So from this picture, you can see that if you're eating a diet full of colorful different types of foods, then you're giving your body what it needs to help protect it against cancer. So cruciferous, that is a fancy word for being we're kind of describing vegetables that kind of like roughage. So this is like your broccoli, your cauliflower, your Brussels sprouts, your cabbage. All of those are considered to be cruciferous vegetables. Other foods that are protective are like your dark green leafy vegetables, so like your spinach, your collard greens, and your kale. So these foods, usually they have a good amount of protective agents in them, but then also they also have fibers. So make sure that you're consuming some of these cruciferous vegetables a couple of times a week to make sure that you are protecting your body against cancer. So not all fruits are created equal, but some foods that have been known to be protective are citrus, berries, pomegranate, and cherries. And with these different type of fruits, obviously, if you can get fresh, fresh is always going to be best. If you can't get fresh, get frozen. If you can't get frozen, then you can resort to canned vegetables. But with these fruits, they usually have antioxidants. And with these antioxidants, they protect your body against free radicals, which protects you from cancer. So make sure you're getting a couple of serving of these fruits every week, and that's going to help your body build up its immunity. So again, so that it can fight and have your good immune system built up, so that it can protect your body from cancer. Whole grains are always fun, and with these whole grains, when you're thinking about whole grains, you should make half of your grains whole. So that means we don't want you to eat as much processed, refined, white grains. So that's like, no, we don't want you to eat like white crackers, white bread. Instead, we want you to have whole grains. And with these whole grains, they're more readily available in the grocery store. Before, you didn't see them as much, but your whole grains are your oats. So like oatmeal, whole grain barley, bulgur, whole rye, and whole grain breads and cereals. And the good thing about all of these whole grains, these are like your ancient grains. So you're getting more bang for your buck with these type of grains. And basically, grains usually, and some of them have very distinct flavors, but some of them don't. And those that don't, basically, they taste like whatever you cook them with or season them with. So some of them can be pretty mild in flavor. So there's no reason why you shouldn't try them. So with your grains, just make sure that you're cooking them enough so that they're palatable and that they're acceptable to those that you are feeding. And honestly, just experiment with your whole grains. You can have whole grain bowls. You can add them to soup, stews. You can add them to salads. So just experiment and have fun with your whole grains, but try to add in a couple of servings every single day. Legumes. Legumes, these are going to be your dried beans and peas. And the thing with legumes is that they have protein in them, but they also have fiber. So for those of you who are eating a plant-based diet, you know pretty well about all of these legumes. And basically, we just want you to eat more legumes because if you're eating less animal products, that's going to reduce your risk of getting cancer. So with your legumes and your peas and your lentils and soybeans, just make sure that you're cooking them well enough so that they're soft and they're digestible. If you don't cook them well, that's one of the reasons why people don't like legumes. But cooking your legumes and your dried peas and beans, they do take a little bit more food preparation. So a good rule of thumb is to soak them to soften them up. And once they become softened, sometimes with your legumes and things like lentils, you have to cook them in liquid medium, so like water, or you can use like chicken stock or vegetable stock, and you cook them for long periods of time till they become nice and soft and full of flavor. So while they might take a little bit more time, they're going to be better for your body. And just think, you can cook them once and use them twice, or sometimes maybe 3 times. So make sure that you're trying to get in a couple of serving of legumes every single week, and that should help you as well. So, in summary, basically, breast cancer awareness is for bringing a time to learn more about breast cancer. It's a time for you to get involved, to get inactive. And if you haven't been screened, make sure that you're either doing your self examinations or take this time to schedule your mammogram with your doctor, and or check on a friend to make sure that they've had their screening. And if they have not had their screening, then encourage them to get screened as well. And more importantly, lifestyle factors matter. So when you're thinking about trying to protect yourself from cancer, having a healthy weight is important. And weight is closely connected to breast cancer and the risk of getting breast cancer, just because with those overweight or obesity, it it affects how your body works as you get closer to menopause. So engaging in regular physical activity is going to help you maintain a healthy weight. And of course, if you're taking the time to work out and be more active, then certainly you should do your body justice by eating foods that is going to support your goals, but then also give you the fuel to feel better. So just try to make sure that you're consuming some citrus, cruciferous vegetables, and your legumes a couple of times a week, in addition to your whole grains, to reduce your risk factors for getting breast cancer. So if you have questions or comments, feel free to email me at nourishyounutritionky@gmail.com. Thank you for listening today, and I hope you learned something new.